And today we are going to talk about the cash flow game. Most of you would have heard about the cash flow game. Cash flow game is based on the concepts from this book, Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And if you look at Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad, it is actually one of the best-selling books. It has sold more than 26 million copies over the last 15 years. So I have started to read this book 2002, and it really changed the way I looked at understanding about money. So what Robert Kiyosaki says in this book is basically, to put it in a nutshell, he shares that most of us, if you look at across the world, people spend almost like 20 years in their schools and colleges. But if you look at really what they learn about money, it is not much. So they start to come into their jobs, they start to look at working, and then they find that they are in a big financial mess. And if you look at today's scenario, with people finding themselves in a recession, the jobs getting cut, it makes very tough for someone to reach financial freedom being in a job. So Robert Kiyosaki suggests like it is quite, or I would say the chances of you reaching financial freedom is much more if you are either a businessman or an investor. So what happens is, like, if you are an employee, you have been trained to think like an employee all your life. How do you change this mindset? How do you think from being an employee into an entrepreneur? How do you start to think like an investor? So the best way what Robert Kiyosaki suggests is to play this cash flow game. He has recommended this in this book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. And cash flow game is a very experiential game. I'll just briefly tell you what is this game all about. This game is designed in order to learn the concepts of or the principles of wealth creation in a very experiential way. So what happens is, like, if you look at the core of learning, which is a very fundamental model which teaches about education. If you read a book, for example, you read this book, and after 2 weeks, if you look at what you remember, probably you will remember around 5%. If you look at watching a video, you might remember around 20%. But if you look at undergoing a real life experience or having a close to a simulation of what happens in reality, your retention level in your mind is almost by close to around 90%. So playing the cash flow game is a very unique experience because it teaches you three important principles. First principle, what the game teaches you, is about how you look at understanding about more about accounting your money, how you look at managing your overall finances. That is one of the biggest learning experiences, because most of the time people do not look at the importance of understanding where their financial position is. The second principle what it teaches you is like it teaches you how you look at negotiations, how you look at understanding about businesses, how you look at identifying opportunities, how you look at collaborations, how you look at teaming up, team building skills, which are rarely taught in schools and colleges. And the third most important thing, what you learn in this cash flow game, is how to make an investing decision. Like, for example, you buy a stock. You should know what is the entry price you need to buy, when you need to sell. The same thing, like if you're looking at investing in this business, you should know what is the value or what is the return on investment which you're going to make or you're going to get from the business. Is it a sensible decision to invest right? So these are the three principles based on which the cash flow game operates on. And what you will find is, like, cash flow game is a very unique tool, because if you look at the game, it is like it's a board game where people play this over a period of around 3 to 4 hours. And when you have a like-minded group coming and playing the game, it's very exciting. And you'll also find that people looking at applying the techniques in reality, they look to see, okay, I learned this concept, something is now I'm able to explore options which I haven't tried out in my real life. So can I look at applying this or taking small steps in my real life? So that's how the game works about, and it is always suggested you play this game around 5 to 6 times minimum to understand how this game works, and the results are tremendous. So over the last 12 years, since I have hosted this game, I have found like more than 5,000 people who have done this program over the last 12 years. And I would have personally hosted close to around 500 sessions of the Cashflow program. Over a period of time, like a couple of sessions, people start to look at thinking. The game sets you into a thinking mode. You start to explore what you need to do. Should you look at more on giving importance to your financial freedom, where you need to look at starting your new business, or how you need to look at investing your assets. So that's the beauty of the game. It sets people into thinking what they need to do to reach financial freedom. It's, I would say, like 1,000 times more powerful than reading a book, because the game is a mirror of your real life. It tells you like what are your what is your mindset, what is your behavior with money, what is your pattern of taking investment decisions. And slowly what happens is like you start to understand how each asset classes operate, how each investments start to look at. And you start to look at taking decisions which slowly refine your thought process and helps you to reach financial freedom. So what we do is like we suggest you to look at forming a group, small group of 6 to 8 people. You can start to look at buying the cash flow game. Or another option is like if you are in Chennai or in any other city like Bangalore or other cities, we have a website. One of the websites which I host is like richdadchennai.com. You can come, you can join us, and whenever we post the next cash flow game, you can be available to play for the game. I promise you that this will be one of the most exciting decisions which you have taken, and it could really transform your life. So look forward to catch up in next session of cash flow game anytime in Chennai very soon. In case you want to reach out, please reach us at the number mentioned below, or just log on to this website. So thank you all for listening to this, and look forward to see you very soon. Thank you.